Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Today we're going to be ranking all of the Zone 6 towers in JToH from worst to best. And as you can see, I have completed all of the towers and the Citadel in this entire area, so I should be able to give an honest opinion. So yeah, let's just get straight into this. Hope you all enjoy.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Alright, so the number 14 and last place spot has to go to the Tower of Angled Scenery. And this is kind of controversial because some people actually like this tower, but let me explain. So, basically this tower is the sequel to Tower of Slain Anticipation in Zone 2. What's actually kind of funny is, this is low-key better than that. Like, this tower has super annoying gameplay and it's just not fun. It's like a bunch of like weird kind of slanted platforms, and yeah, it's just not that good. And also the frame's shaped like a wedge, as you can kind of see. And there's an outside on like every floor. If you fall on this outside, you just can't do anything about it. Like, there. Yeah, and it just makes it super loop faily and just not fun at all. Like, I spent like an hour on this, and note that my hardest at the time was like an extreme, so. This is just not that good. The only good thing about it, which is actually a really good thing about it, is the ending. Which, hold on, let me get to that. So, I believe this is it. So you go down this thing, and then it goes through this whole obby. It's really cool, actually. Like, there's a bunch of crap that happens to you like that. You bounce all these bridges, yeah. Really cool ending. One of the best endings to a JToH tower, honestly. Kinda sad it's wasted on sad excuses, honestly. This tower's like the most mid thing ever to exist, and it really shouldn't be anyways. So, yeah, let's move on to the number 13 spot. Alright, so the number 13 spot actually is gonna have to go to the Tower of Brief Challenges. Now, this tower is actually quite a big step up from Tower of Angled Scenery, in my opinion. There's nothing too bad in this tower, honestly. The design's pretty nice, honestly. Like, you have some cool structuring, some cool design just here and there. And the gradient's also nice, but just the gameplay is like super janky and super like, I don't even know how to describe it, just annoying. Like, this is literally just a tower of annoying jumps. Like, look at this. Like, this X-pusher, yeah, I did like this weird wraparound in this wedge, and it's like, honestly extreme. Like, why does this have to exist? Bro, it's just so stupid. And these kind of jumps just go all the way throughout this tower, and it just makes it bad. Like, what is this? Like, bro, just Toso, honestly. Yeah. This tower's honestly not that bad. It's pretty decent. There's nothing too special about it though, which kind of makes it one of the lower ones on the list. But overall, this sounds really good. So like, had to pick something for this spot. And it's definitely better than Angled Scenery. So, yeah, let's move on to the number 12 spot. Alright, so the number 12 spot is going to go to the Tower of Foreign Domains, and let me know in the comments. Do you guys even remember this tower? Like, honestly, like, this is like the most forgotten tower in the whole game. And this tower is not too good. I mean, it has really good design, but the route progression, like, these first couple groups of floors is pretty bad, honestly. But it gets better. Like, this floor actually looks pretty good. The gameplay is not even that bad. So this is definitely a step up from the previous two in terms of just everything. But still, like, a little bit flawed. Also just forgotten because it's forgettable. So yeah. Not much to say about this one. I mean, it's a pretty good hard difficulty, I guess, but honestly, rock climbing would be better for like the easiest slot in this. So yeah, anyways, let's move on to the number 11 spot, where we're gonna have a special guest. Alright, so for the number 11 spot in Zone 6, we're gonna have to go with the Tower of Break It Buy It, and we have a special guest here. Snowman, you can take it away.
Alright, so Tobibi, or Tower Break It By It is I say there's a lot of like very interesting parts of the tower. It's pretty creative, but some parts get a little bit like they get repetitive, get annoying and stuff, and you can loop fill a lot. But overall, it's a really creative, and I had a fun time doing Topi Beast. So yeah.
Alright, on to the number 10 spot. Alright, now for the number 10 spot, we have the Tower of Hefty Magnitude. So this tower is actually pretty good. Like, I did not like this whenever I first played this, but after some replays and actually beating the tower in its full length, I actually like this tower now. So the first couple floors, like especially the blue floors, are really boring. The green floors aren't too much either, but the red floors and the final floor, which is the pink floor, these floors are really good. Like, I had a lot of fun. You have this outside section, which is like honestly pretty cool. Probably one of the highlights of the tower. Has a lot of good gameplay. And then the last floor is just like, yeah, it's just really good. Like, I'll show you. So yeah, this tower is actually really filled. As you can see, this floor is like super huge. It's got a lot of gameplay. It's actually kind of shorter than you think it is, but it's really good throughout. Like, I love the second half of this tower so much, but the first half was just kind of eh. So that would bring it down to around a 10th place, which I think is fair for this tower. And yeah, alright, on to the next tower. Alright, the next tower to round off the intermediate area is Conflicting Frontiers. Now, this tower disappoints me. And the reason this disappoints me is because the first half is actually like the best thing ever made. Like, this is like the best purism anyone could ever ask for. And it's just so good, and I love it. But then the second half, well, not really the second half, but the last 3 floors. God, bro, these floors suck. Like, everything's under like this dark lighting changer, and it's just not cool. Like, these floors are super loop faily, and yeah, looks kind of cool, but it's in some parts, especially on the floor below this, it's really hard to see. So yeah, it's really loop failable. I failed it for like 60 minutes straight, and it was not that enjoyable. But the first half, pretty freaking good. I'm not even gonna lie. So that lands us at around a 9th place. I still think it's a really good tower, but could have been improved if the second half was actually like play. I feel like it should be play tested more, you know. So yeah, let's move on to the number 8 spot. Alright, for the number 8 spot, we actually have the Tower of Hazardous Laddering. Now this tower was interesting. I actually got disconnected pretty far into this tower once, and that was kind of sad, but overall the tower is really good. Like, the music on this is pretty good, the design's also pretty good, honestly, and punishment is interesting because you do a couple floors and then you get a net, a couple floors do a net. So it actually makes for a pretty good punishment style, and I like it. As for the gameplay, it's pretty simple, but I actually really like it. It's just overall a fun tower, and yeah, I definitely recommend this if you're looking for more intense to do. It's just a nice intense, and it'll be fun, let's just say that. So yeah, let's move on to the number 7 spot. Alright, so you remember how I said Foreign Domains was forgotten? Well, there's actually a tower in this zone that's more forgotten, and that's the Tower of Massive Overheating, if Brute Challenges wasn't also forgotten enough. Yeah, the rems in this area are not very remembered except for the last one, which we'll get to. So this tower is actually pretty underrated, honestly. Like, just look at this tower. Like, it looks really cool. I love the the orange and black design got going. Like, it looks really nice. And as for the gameplay is really fun. It has some cool client object usages. Also, it just has some like fun purism, like that jump and stuff. So yeah, it's very solid. The last floors are like a bit easier than the first half, which is kind of weird. And the ending is pretty cool too. You press like this ice button, and then it cools stuff down, and then you can win. So yeah, that's the Massive Overheating Tower. Now let's get another special guest for the number 6 spot. Okay, so for the number 6 spot in Zone 6, we have to go with the Tower of Watts, and we have a special guest here. Bloxy, take it away.
Alright, so I think Tower of Watts is actually a pretty fun tower. There's a lot of like choke points, especially on the first half, that can kind of like ruin the flow of the overall tower. Because there's a lot of annoying sections. Most of them being on the first half. Once you get to the second half, the tower's way better, in my opinion. The first half's good, but I feel like the second half utilizes the mechanics and everything way better, and just uses them like in a more fair way than the first half. And despite this tower's shortcomings and like some of its inconveniences, especially near the beginning, I feel like this is a really fun tower, a really good tower. Yeah.
Alright. Alright, with that out of the way, let's move on to the top 5 towers of Zone 6. Alright, so for the 5th place spot, we actually have Tower of Astral Fusion. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to be saying, why didn't you rank this higher? Well, I just want you guys to know that all these towers are really great, like, especially in the top 5, and it's kind of hard to rank them, but this is the least great of the other towers, so I'm just going to have to put it here. So how this tower works, basically, is there's a safety net on every floor, except for, like, the outsides. And if you fall, you just fall back to the start of the floor. Which actually sounds pretty loop failable. I mean, it kinda is sometimes, but it actually works pretty well. The gameplay is pretty easy, but it's also pretty fun. A little boring on some floors, although it doesn't really matter, because, I mean, this tower's just great overall. But yeah, it makes for a really good experience. I love the design on this tower. Looks great, and also just a good first run, too. Obviously, I didn't do it as my first run, but I recommend you to if you haven't beat your first run yet. So yeah, I'm gonna have to put it in the 5th place spot, just in the top 5. So alright, with that being said, let's check out some even better towers than this tower is now. Alright, so for the 4th place spot, we actually have the first SC to appear on this list, which is the Tower Micromanagement. So I actually did this as a first Terry, which if you guys saw my video on that, you would know. But yeah, this tower is actually really good. I enjoyed it. I had a really bad grind with it, but I still think it's an amazing tower. Now, why do I like this tower so much? Well, not only is the design pretty cool, I mean, it's pretty simple, but it works. Like, I like the reflectance on some of these floors. It looks really good. But also, like, the gameplay is just amazing. Like, this has some of my favorite gameplay in probably like the whole game, honestly. Like, this gameplay is like eye alert peak. If you don't know who that is, that's the other tower, but yeah. This tower, pretty punishing, has nuts on every floor. So yeah, it's good for first Terry if you're good at this type of gameplay. Yeah, I really like this tower. However, though, this is not actually better than the other SC, which we'll get to in the top 3. So here we go. However, we're not actually going to be going there just yet, because first we have the Citadel of Twists and Weirdness, which barely squeaked into the top 3 for me. So, this is actually top 3 Citadels in the game for me, but the other 2 towers are just so good that I had to rank them higher than this. So, this Citadel is honestly the craziest adventure. Like, just look at the frame of this and tell me this doesn't look cool, first off. And second off, some of these sections are just crazy, bro. Like, there's a whole, like, mega fun obby in the middle of the tower, and it's just so funny, so creative. Like, all these sections, these different sections out here, these are all, like, different floors. It just makes for a very versatile and creative experience overall. And also, it's very balanced. A lot of cool, like, gimmicks in this tower as well, and just fun gameplay. I just love everything about this. This is just one of the best Citadels in the game. I highly recommend doing this if you haven't already. So yeah, let's move on to the top 2 towers in the full zone. In the number 2 spot, we have the Tower of Rock Climbing. So this tower, oh my gosh, how do I even begin? First off, look at the design, bro. This looks so cool. Like, especially from a distance, this just looks so good. All the different outlines and different types of parts, and also just the colors and just the frame, just everything about the design looks so good. That's probably the best part about this. But not only is it making up for design, but it's also making up for gameplay, cause like, bro, some of this gameplay is just crazy. Like, you got some like weird X pusher crap. Like this isn't that crazy here, but like, bro, just the gameplay, the purism, and, like even this part, like you have to dodge the teleporter by jumping there. Just this tower is littered with a bunch of just crazy and cool like different stuff, like just to play through, and it just makes it so fun for me. So yeah, I really enjoy this tower. If you haven't beaten this, what are you doing? Just beat it. Be like this guy. You'll be happy whenever you beat it. And let me just show you the final jump, because the final jump is just, yeah, one of the best final jumps. So you go on this, and this means that you jump further. And just, yeah. It's just so cool, man. I just love everything about this tower. But it's still somehow not better than the #1 spot. So speaking of that, let's get to that. Alright, so my favorite tower in all of Zone 6 has got to be the Tower of the Dripping Amalgam. I just love this tower so much that it's actually my favorite tower in JToH as a whole. Now, like I said with the rock climbing, where do I even begin? The design and the atmosphere is probably my favorite on any tower, period. Like, the glue design was so cool, and still is so cool for its time especially. And then you also got this big ring, which just looks so sick. Like, look at this. And just the atmosphere this creates whenever you're playing the tower is just impeccable. Like, there's particles and stuff flying everywhere, and it's just so menacing. Yet, it's just so fun with the gameplay too. The gameplay is also probably my favorite of any tower. You just have some really cool raps, like this rap and stuff. Like, this is really fun gameplay, especially for an extreme. You also got cool client object usage, like all the B-block ladders and crap you find throughout the tower. Really good. I love this. And the second half just gets even better if you thought the first half was like the coolest thing ever. Like, let me show you this. So you go on this pad and then you jump all the way up here if you don't get hit by that. And then you go into this red area with the music where it kicks in. It's just so cool. Hit the button progress. Yeah, the button progress actually doesn't ruin this tower. It makes it 10 times better. Just because it makes it more enjoyable. The first half is pretty annoying sometimes whenever you're grinding it. Although, replaying it, it's like the best thing ever. Because it is the best thing ever. And yeah, you just have like the best gameplay everywhere. Just everything that you would possibly want a tower is just here. Like, I just love this. So, yeah, that's my ranking video. Hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more of these, let me know. I've been in other areas like Ring 1, Forgotten Ridge, Carnaby, Shoal, Lost River, Ring 2, all that stuff. So if you want to see more of these, then let me know in the comments, or like, yeah, just tell me or something. I don't know. So yeah, see you guys in the next video. Peace out.